This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, go ahead.
Good day. This is Harold Watson, Committee Chairman of the Housatonic Greenway Complete Streets Subcommittee. We are conducting this special hybrid meeting in person and on GoToMeetings on Wednesday, February 7th at 12 noon. The quorum for this meeting is 6, and I will now call the following elected members to speak up as present. Subcommittee members: Karen Burke.
Here.
Tom Dillon.
Here.
Ellen Frank, absent. Christopher Green.
Here.
Nels Pearson.
Here.
He's online. George Perham. He's absent. Jennifer Sheldon.
Here.
James Simon. He's absent. Myself, Harold Watson, here. Planning Board member Sarah Graham. Here. Alternates at our meeting we don't have. We also welcome Susmitha Atada, our town planner, Aileen Marsh, our recording secretary, and John Casey, our town engineer. And Mary Dean, also our special guest.
And we also have a resident here for the record. Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Martha Barcelona.
Martha Barcelona, okay. We will be having someone from MetroCog.
MetroCog, yes, they were supposed to join, but I don't see them, so.
So sometime during this presentation, we will be having someone from MetroCog, who are the people that are preparing the design. But we shall see, because they're not able to, so far, connect on. But instead of waiting, we're going to just move forward. Today we'll be discussing the Complete Streets Phase 2 30% design process. Our guests may include Devin Clark, but will include someone from MetroCog, and will give us an overview and answer questions from the committee members to be followed, opening the meeting up for audience questions.
Josh Perham joined just now.
Okay. You got that? Aileen?
You might want to speak for the record.
Okay.
Sorry, yes.
Because we are doing hybrid, it's really important. Please identify yourself by name each time you would like to speak. Public is free to listen, but may only speak at the invitation of the chair. If you are online, please send messages via chat if you can do that. So send your questions via chat, and at some point, Susmitha will figure it out and we'll be able to address those. With that, I call to order the special session of the Stratford Housatonic Greenway and Complete Streets Subcommittee of Planning. First item on our agenda is to introduce our speaker, which right now is Susmitha. Follow up with committee questions, open the floor, and we'll do that later. So yes. We're going to right now only take conversation questions from committee members. Once we finish that, then we will open it up to our guests and any of the public that wants to ask us questions. Okay, we have 1 hour to do this, so we need to keep everything very brief. If you can, take notes, write down what your questions are as we go through it. We're going to move from, if I'm correct, we're going to move from the Barnum north side to Paradise Green on the south side. We are only discussing today Phase 2. We're not discussing Phase 1, or we're not discussing any of the issues that deal with Phase 1 or Elm Street or any of that, so that we can get this done, because it's really critical that we move as quickly as we can to a 30% improvement. Yes?
So, Chairman, if I may interrupt, because we are running short of time, it's almost 12:11. So, and then you can continue discussing. For those who are online, you're at a disadvantage because you can't see the drawings that are laid out here. So please open your drawings online on the town webpage and look at them. I have organized these into 4 sets, and each set has 2 layouts of the roadway. And we are starting from Paradise Green Place near Wilcoxon Avenue until, I think, what's the southern boundary on that sheet, Chris?
Part of that.
No, I mean on the first sheet.
Part of that, the first sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is now, Susmitha, this is arranged Barnum Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's starting from Barnum Ave to here, okay.
To
So we will start then from Barnum Avenue to, I think, Curtis Place in the first sheet. I just wanted to point them only to the first sheet so they can look at it. It's Barnum Avenue to Longbrook Avenue, or? Okay. So why don't you take 5 minutes time to find that drawing online on Planning and Zoning webpage, under right-hand side, under additional links. The last link to current and long-range planning projects leads you to Greenway sub-link, and you can find the phase 2 designs there. Alien, if you can share that as in the chat for them as a link, that'll be great. We are looking at that sheet where the roadway starts from Barnum Avenue intersection to Longbrook Avenue, and those here,
Mr. Chairman.
those here can start looking at it and start commenting on this.
Testimony of the three of us that the biggest items of concern are in the Paradise Green and Garden Terrace.
But we are a public meeting and we advertise this as a phase 3 discussion. So I really want to, let's just go quickly through it, keep your questions limited, and we'll move down. Because everybody has.
Point of the meeting was to discuss Paradise Green and Garden.
No, it wasn't, it was discussed all of phase 2.
From the start, and then we'll focus more on that. So the first sheet is from Longbrook Avenue, all the way to Curtis Place and, a block, to the north of it. And this is existing, this is the aerial. Actually, we have to move this aerial down, so we can start from there. That'll be great, Mary, yeah. So, you have to, yeah, this is Curtis Place, and I think we're starting here. And as you can see, the roadway here, you have a 3-lane, roadway coming south, and then 2 lanes going north, and the double dotted yellow line in between. There's no sidewalk here. The sidewalk is, a little bit inward of the block. So this is the existing condition that is portrayed here. And this drawing here shows, what improvements they're going to make, to the crosswalk or the sidewalk. And this one here shows how the bike lanes will appear on this roadway. So if you look at these sharrows, we don't have a separate bike lane here, but it's going to be, painted with, bicycle, markings, just to show that you're going to share the road with automobiles on this segment.
That's from
North of Barnum
From
Avenue.
north of Barnum here. Ooh, shoot, sorry.
That's okay. Just have to zoom it in.
Right here,
Mm-hmm.
up to,
Up to,
Up
we're
to
looking at
Longbrook.
here in this segment, in the first piece, on top,
the first.
Curtis Place.
So, I'm sorry, I'm confused. So, these right here, that's going this way, that's going
That's
this
going
way?
north, yes.
Okay, all right. And that's there, and then to the south, I think it's Longbrook.
Yes.
So it's almost like if you go all the way till here, this is this piece to the second sheet, part of the sheet on, I think it's a panel 1 for those online. And if you look at that, I think we have to, yeah.
You wanna?
We have a new crosswalk at Longbrook Avenue. And we will have a decorative crosswalk here. And they're going to remove concrete sidewalk and establish turf or lawn, like, they're going to curve this out.
And
this side?
to Smith, this area right here also, they're gonna drop the grade there, because that's where there's a 3-step walk up.
And that's
In
what
this area right
WKC
Would go nowhere.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Exactly, but this sidewalk's gonna be lowered a little bit, there's gonna be a ramp that will bring you from the crosswalk up to the main side.
So,
It'll eliminate the stair that's in the public right away, and then there's also stair.
And that makes it ADA accessible. That's what we're trying
so,
to do.
you're just improving the crosswalk. You're not putting new ones in, right?
With-
Very good.
And everything prior to this is all on-road sharrows.
Yep.
So it's cars and bikes together, up until this point.
No, we're still here, and we have the crosswalk, and then from here, I think our bicycles, we'll have a bike box here, and then you'll have a designated bike lane.
Just explain what the bike box is.
Bike box is, a location where bikes can come in front of the cars and wait, until the signal changes, and then they have, they can then take a turn. Yes. So, I think we have two lanes here, and then we have a turning lane, and then, no, actually one lane, turning lane in the middle, and bike lane. So this will become 2 and 2 right now. This will be, you'll have a bike lane, then a turning lane, and then one more lane here. And
And we begin the bike lane on road marked at this point.
yes, bike lane only in this side, and on the other side, the assumption is that you'll have it, no, there is a bike lane here, okay, there is another bike lane, two bike lanes, over here, and then one lane, and then, yeah, and then the turning lane in between. So that is the segment, for panel 1, between, north of Barnum Avenue to Longbrook Avenue, and then we're going to go to panel 2, from where to where? It shows
Hillside Avenue.
Hillside Avenue, and then Hurd Avenue. Yeah, Hillside. Yes. Yeah, it's the same thing, there's nothing much.
The key is the North Avenue.
Yeah, I think it'll be the same thing until North Avenue, you'll have a bike lane with a turning lane in the middle, and then you go down,
That's her,
That's
but she
her.
wanted the.
but you almost want to go to North Avenue, yes.
A little further.
Go a little further up, just a little. Sorry about
Yeah, and
There's another road.
John,
okay? Just the road.
Yeah,
So
there
this
it
goes,
goes.
okay.
Show here.
so you want to explain, John, here, near North Avenue? There's this crosswalk, and then you also have a dotted bike lane.
Yeah, that'll be the green paint, so remember, it'll be white paint, but when we're crossing intersections, it'll turn to the green paint stripe.
So over here, it'll be green paint stripe.
For the bike lane.
For the bike lane.
Of course, the crosswalk will also be redone.
What's the title of the drawing you're looking at?
Perpendicular to the road.
What's that?
What's the title of the drawing you're looking at? I'm looking at Main Street North or Main Street South?
It's panel 2.
Along.
Oh, I don't have panels. I'm looking at what,
We're looking between, at North Ave intersection.
Well, it'll only be at intersections that you'll see.
I understand. But I understand.
North Ave is one side, Beers is the other.
Regulation.
okay.
And it'll be bike boxes in both directions, one for turning left on North Ave,
We will have
Over
one
here.
here
Mhm.
and one up here.
turning left on the Beers.
What's that?
So making the left-hand turn
Mhm.
here onto Beers, and making the left-hand turn here onto North.
Okay. So you'll have a bike box here and bike box here.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few places where there's a real pullback from North Avenue, where cars actually stop far back or where.
Yeah, they could get a lot of room.
Yeah.
And, the lane configuration changes, again, from, I think from Beers Place, you'll have only 2 lanes here. The middle lane will go away.
It's staying the same.
No, it's staying the same.
It's changing from today, but
Okay.
it's staying the same up the corridor.
Okay,
Right.
so we still have the middle
Still
lane
three.
turning, and then we have 2 lanes, and then bike lanes on either side.
So
And,
we're going from a current traffic pattern of 2 lanes on either side to
Mhm.
1 lane on either side and a shared turn.
yes.
Yes, and the
And then
roadways are
bike
all
lanes
gonna,
on,
they're gonna shrink by 1 foot, I think,
That,
if I remember correctly.
that's how we make room for that.
Right. Or 2 feet.
Yeah.
It will be,
we're going to panel 3 now. We're just giving a quick overview, and then those who have comments can focus more on points of concern, like Tom said he wanted to focus more on Paradise Greenway. So back to that. The, third set has, roadway from Garden Street east to Birch Place, and then from Birch Place to Huntington Road. And, I think the major difference here, first of all, again, you know, on top, like near Garden Street, you have, dotted bike crossing, across, like the other side.
Both sides of the island.
You have a dotted bike crossing here, which will be green painted.
And is this where the?
This is where the accident happened. See this one connecting sidewalk right here? That's the suggestion that we would move that.
Yeah.
So that we force people to either walk to that sidewalk or that sidewalk. We would literally take out this thing, so we're not creating a false cross in the middle of Main Street.
But does the bus stop there? That's a school bus.
I think, we have to see,
It doesn't matter.
it says relocate bus stop over there.
Say it one more time.
It says relocate GBT bus stop.
Okay.
So I don't know where.
The bus stop, I think, is on the right-hand side.
It's right here.
Correct.
But it will correspond with the sidewalk.
Yes.
This one's coming out, it won't stop anywhere around here.
If we follow what we're doing in phase one, they're not putting in actual stop. All they're putting in right now, is a new signage and a concrete pad. So that eventually they can put in a
So
full.
where is the bus stop going to be, John? Right here.
So this plan shows the 60% design. That we've gotten comments from DOT, we've gotten comments from our stakeholder meeting, we've gotten comments from you, and the engineer is looking at alternatives for the Garden Street crossing to try to make it as safe as it can.
So we don't know yet.
Right.
So on those drawings, it shows the bus stop here.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
And like Chris pointed out, this sidewalk isn't, with this sidewalk coming out, but then no crosswalk isn't what's not good.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna change.
yeah.
No, but since these drawings
Yeah.
were issued,
Oh, okay.
we've had more input and
Got
comments,
it.
so those comments have not been addressed.
So there's one other change here. They're asking to paint green, a portion of green, bike lane here. So
That's in front of the strip mall.
that's in front of, the strip mall. And why are we doing that? Do you know?
There's double intersections with a lot of traffic coming in.
Is that right?
I think it's just that, giving you the advance warning,
But they will be painted.
that the intersection's coming up.
High conflict
Mhm.
area.
Yeah, and then you'll have the continued green striping across the intersection.
But it's only on one side where you're crossing the
side
other
where
side.
there's the
Yeah, where there's a cross. And then this panel is from Birch Place to Huntington Road. And there is a lot of change here, and John, you might want to take a crack at this.
Just so not,
Yes.
Well, it's the
No,
same,
we have to, Birch Place, yeah.
it's the same concept, we have the bike boxes for the left-hand turn, we'll have the painted green,
So we'll have bike box
intersections.
here, and then the bike lane will be made prominent, right? Green?
Yeah, so if we look at this drawing, it'll show where they are.
Yeah.
Looking up there, but they don't. But, the other thing is just off the page here, is where Huntington Road is coming in, it's always coming very skewed. They're just going to move that curb line, and take away some of that massive amount of pavement, try to channelize the vehicle traffic. So when they're approaching Main Street, it's not such a big giant open space of pavement. And then we'll have our pavement markings identifying the green striping across Huntington Road all.
This will be moved, and then there will be a dotted bike lane here, and then there'll be, bike lane treatment here, and with the bike boxes, and that's the change over here.
John, I'm pretty sure that tree recently came down. Big stump right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we have that.
That's the one they just cut down.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, without obviously they don't know.
right, that's why I'm pointing it out. Yeah.
Hmm.
We don't need to be.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen
so
very
much.
There's also a crosswalk here, that's not on there, near Freeman Avenue. Oh, there is the crosswalk, actually. And in that crosswalk, It says replace one-way pedestrian signal head and push button on aluminum pedestal to remain. Okay, so you're going to replace one-way pedestrian signal head here, and the push button will remain, and the bus stop will be relocated at this location too.
Be determined.
Yes, I think that's what it says, relocate DBT bus stop.
So they're gonna relocate the bus stop over here by the
Yeah,
bank?
and I don't know where, it doesn't say where it's gonna go right now.
But you're gonna align them with the crosswalk somehow.
Right now, the crosswalk remains as is.
No, but when you move the bus stop, they'll be closer to the crosswalk, so they're encouraged to use the crosswalk.
That's, it's not determined on these drawings yet.
Okay, that makes
The
sense.
DBT will take that in.
Let's hope they
The
control
current
bus stop, they control the bus stop.
like,
Let's hope the current bus stop has a crosswalk.
this is the trust but verify crowd.
What?
The trust but verify crowd, you know, just the right thing to
Run
do.
it by us, we
Yeah.
wouldn't say, they don't just do it without
Right,
talking to us.
that's why we gotta make sure that.
Yeah,
and
But the current bus stop has no crosswalk.
And then we have the same thing going on the opposite side of the street too, like, just like how we would have 5 boxes here, we would have 5 boxes here and green painted. This curve will be, redone a little bit, and then we have a dotted bike crossing across, so the bike can go in designated path.
May I ask a question about this? Because currently, right now, Huntington's coming down with 2 lanes.
Yes.
One ends up being the right turn lane onto Freeman, and the other one is the southern continuing, southern Main Street. It's the drawing here, I think they eliminated they took it from 2 down to 1.
Yeah, they just made it only
They
one.
took away the right turn lane.
Yeah.
In the presentation to businesses, I know, basically they explained that they're trying to make that intersection safer by slowing things down. Obviously, a lot of the business owners in that area were very worried about that, creating during busy parts of the day, a lot more congestion at that intersection. So,
Well, it's making it smaller, they don't want.
by going from 2 lanes here to 1, yeah, so that in order to turn right onto
Yeah.
Freeman, you are waiting with people going southbound in 1 lane, but that's gonna back up on Huntington, was the concern. But, right, the state is interested in trying to make it safer by slowing things down. The business owners are worried that slowing it down during the busiest parts of the day is gonna be problematic.
Well, and in addition, it's not just slowing things down, but we are now putting a bike lane there. So that changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Huntington's a town road.
And this is an instance where we don't have the land, so we really can't do anything. Where they're doing the bump out, essentially they're adding more green to this area here, but half of that's being used by the bike lane itself. So it's not a full 14 feet, it's probably, 8 feet that it's gonna be
But if
pushed
they
back.
did do the bump out, they can have a right turn lane, is what we're getting at.
Then you wouldn't have the bike lane.
John, is this the lane?
So, John,
This
this
is the one
part
lane now?
here,
Yeah, but for the bike,
And this is getting narrowed?
so there's no
And
bike
then-
lane this way?
No, not on Huntington.
This has been the problem
So this is
for
the
Okay.
bike
8
path.
years at least, trying to solve it.
And then you've got, 1 lane of traffic coming into it instead of 2. And then there's no dedicated right here.
So the cars will come into here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a general question is, we're gonna end up doing something here, fine, so as they're shrinking this pavement, are we impeding opportunities to come back to this in the future?
We can bring that up, it hasn't been thought about, I'm sure.
if you wanna write your question down, I can put it on here.
Tom, you talking about using that space in the middle of the road?
No, I'm talking about just, I'm assuming that in time.
There is a
I
shoulder,
understand a lot about
there is a shoulder.
Here.
So this shoulder next to the lane of traffic.
Yeah.
You're
There's
on
a painted shoulder.
Right. I'm gonna.
So it is there. There is a 5-foot area there.
And then we have, we are coming to the most interesting part now.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
why don't we
this
just
part.
stop? We've gone from Barnum up to Paradise. Anybody have any questions they want answered on this?
I think we should
2/3.
just do it and then leave it to questions, because
Okay.
we won't be able to finish otherwise.
Let's get this ready.
And then, so we have the northern part, of, Huntington Road, between Paradise Green Place and the crosswalk at Brewster Street. Over here, this is clear. We didn't explain this
Yeah, we just,
parking,
this
right?
is Huntington, right,
This
so
is-
we
oh,
talked
yeah.
about Huntington, but now,
Right,
the
now-
Paradise Green,
Mhm.
section,
So is this the tree we're keeping?
It's gone now.
That's the one they take down.
That's cut down? Okay.
So we can straighten that sidewalk section out.
Actually,
Okay. We'll have on-street parking here, though.
Yeah, that tree is still there, it's the
Uh,
one
it's-
further down.
It's this one down here. It's that one right there.
That's
Okay.
right, that's right.
That one's gone.
And then we'll have on-street parking this side of the street, which will be parallel parking. And then, we also have.
And the bike lane will be on the outside of that, correct?
So,
Yes, and in front
Hopefully
of the
not.
parallel parking, the bike lane
where are the
is,
crosswalks
angled.
for this?
where's the what?
The crosswalks for this parallel parking, is that this here?
Yeah, they didn't,
That's
mark
new,
it.
isn't it?
This is
That
Park
doesn't
Street?
exist.
This is Park
This
Street?
doesn't exist, this doesn't.
It's over here, it's
No,
over
this
here,
is new.
And
This
this
is
is
new.
new.
Tom,
Crossway.
it's over here on the other side of
Brewster
Brewster.
Street.
That parallel parking crosses over here at Brewster.
Well, that's existing,
No, this one is new.
This is new.
They're showing this
but there's
new.
another one at the tip of
They're
Paradise, so
showing
they're
the
adding.
And here's,
crosswalk
and here's
from
this
here
one.
to
Is that
there.
one is drawn in?
Yeah,
And that is new on the drawing there.
so that
So these
existing one.
people
stays.
that park here,
For
right,
the
are gonna be
one.
expected to walk north or south
I
and cross
think it
over.
should,
Yes.
yeah.
I just wanna make sure, because it's interesting, because these are big pickup spots. This currently slopes to the point where you can't be inside the white line down here. So these are nice pickup spots, but they are directly across. They're gonna invite people there, so I'm just trying to see it. That's
I think
down
th-
here,
this,
this way.
this crosswalk exists at the north end of Paradise.
Where's the next?
It's right here.
Right over
Right here.
I think we should just stop
This,
here one.
so this crosswalk here is just shifting over to line with the street.
Where's the other?
Here, this is,
Talk about right here,
Thank you.
John.
And where is Park?
Yeah, that one's
This is
shifting down like a
Park.
little bit.
I mean.
Mid-block.
So there's gonna be two.
this crosswalk is,
Yeah.
will line up with the sidewalk coming across Brewster.
We'll have an island in
This is a
between,
crosswalk?
and then we
Yes.
have bike
This is a
lanes that's
crosswalk.
means
That
of
was the
travel,
crosswalk, it's
and
being
the
moved,
bike
so it
lane
lines with the
coincides with
street.
parallel parking here,
Okay.
and you
Remember, they're
have
doing
an
a bump
angle
out on this side, right? Is that where the bump out's being put in? Or
So
is
the
that-
bump out is right here.
That's
That's
Okay,
here.
so we're still not there.
This doesn't look as
Right now,
wide
this
as this
is
crosswalk,
angled,
it might
and
just.
they're going to
Well,
be
it's gonna be whatever, you know, the DOT is gonna require for crosswalks, is what it's gonna be.
Yes,
Okay, so,
yes.
okay,
And then
so I'm
they'll
just
have
confused
a
with when it
island
gets
in
drawn
between.
correctly and when it's incorrect, because
Excuse me, Tom, this one exists, but they're, instead of this being an angle, they're making it straight. Cut through.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but
you
it's going
have,
across the street here.
Across the street, not in the
It
green.
currently has no mark.
There is no marking on the green, on the street.
I mean, I see it, but it's not like a path.
it is not prominent when
Right,
you
it's not
drive by,
prominent. It's just
but
a
they're
path.
going to make it prominent.
Yeah, and look,
And,
bring it down.
They
and
say
cross
they
over.
have a proposed traffic control foundation, pedestal here, and then one-way pedestrian signal, pedestal mounted, pedestrian push button, and sign pole mounted at those locations.
Oh,
But in these
fabulous.
areas, you know that in these two intersections, they're double wide, they have the thing in the center. They're- I can't even tell you how many times I see a human being almost mowed down in those spots. So what I'm asking is, this is not, I just wanna understand that that's gonna be as good and wide and clear as an intersection.
Well, that is
Does
green.
not look like.
No,
I don't think it'll be
No.
green, it'll be just
It'll be
regular.
Not green,
Oh, thanks.
wide and marked like this, as opposed to a little thing in the middle of the street. That's what a major concern is. That's a huge safety. I almost got killed on that street, just crossing. And that's with double wide, a thing in the center. Okay, you get knocked over all the time. Then all of a sudden, there's not a stop sign on Main Street. And a guy
So-
came within 18 inches of me, 40
They're
miles
putting
an hour.
in lights.
yeah,
Tom,
you
Tom.
have to realize, this is gonna have a pedestrian crossing sign.
Yeah.
This is gonna have a pedestrian crossing sign as well, I believe. Yep, proposed traffic control. So these are gonna be crosswalks, so you're gonna be able to, have beacons going on.
It's not just signs, it's lights and signs, correct?
Coming to the
And a centerpiece too? or
It's not a traffic light,
No?
it's a crosswalk beacon to
And where
alert
the beacon's on the
cars
side?
that
Push
people
it,
will be
flash.
going into
Yeah.
the crosswalk.
But it is a push button activated.
Push button action.
And the flashing would be on both
On
sides.
the side.
This is like what they had in Trump.
Yeah, it
It's
seems
the-
to me.
you hit the button.
Right,
The lights start flashing.
On both sides.
Warning drivers,
Traffic.
stop, and
Okay.
then you start crossing.
all right.
Is there any way to get, the one thing that's really, beneficial is that red stop sign. Stop. Like in the middle of the street. Stop, state
Pedestrians are
law,
crossing.
pedestrian right of way.
Um,
Very,
I think
very critical.
if you
What
have,
happens with those, a lot of times they don't last very long because they get hit by cars or plows or whatnot. And that would be something the town would have to continue to maintain. We tried it in Stratford Center, they're no longer there because, for that reason. They just eventually go away and nobody will put them back.
But,
But instead of that, is we have these flashing lights, which hopefully would actually be more effective.
and
than
the sight line here, is the light gonna be on the sidewalk over here? Like
Yeah.
all the way over here? Because the sight line here, I'm concerned, because I don't know the answer, and I'm not saying I don't know what to do.
I think
I'm
it's
just
for those who
concerned
are
that
crossing and
It's a
it's,
very wide street, so if
It's
I'm
a very
going
wide-
down Main Street,
We
those
are
lights are gonna be out.
narrowing the traffic, we are narrowing the traffic pattern down, we're, you know, well, in this case, not so much, but, you know, further down, we're in one lane instead of two. So people are driving in one lane, but here you're already in one lane.
Is
Even
this
without the
raised,
lanes, the
like,
street is still the same width.
Yeah.
yeah, is
There's
this,
still a lot to cross.
Right, and
Right.
so that's one of the reasons, I think somebody brought up this traffic
yeah,
marking out here.
yeah,
Why are we using that for traffic marking? Well, one is to channelize those lanes. So when you're in a car, you're in the street where it's painted, not anywhere else on a giant width.
is this gonna be like Paradise Green further north where it's raised and there's brick and like?
Paint.
No, that's just a painted yellow line.
Okay.
Okay,
I just wanna
I'm
address one
concerned,
other thing.
You know, I have a lot of concerns about that.
These-
People are gonna wash all over that.
These pedestal signals are more for pedestrians, less for cars.
They're all for-
So this is for those who are walking to go and cross across, and that's why they have signals inward. But let's finish the other part and come back because we're running short of time, and that's the most controversial part, I think.
so, yes, we'll put that concern in writing.
Yeah.
I'm very, very concerned, as everybody knows, about, where the bike lane goes here, where people are backing into it.
Okay.
Not
Cars are
here,
backing
it's
into it.
here,
Here,
where that-
okay, thank you. And it's so dangerous, and
Starting-
especially if the
starting
person's
here, yeah.
small.
Yeah, it's starting here.
Right.
This is the bump out,
Yeah,
so it starts here actually.
Here is
It's here.
fine, it's here that's.
This is concrete, so they're not backing out here, it's actually this section.
so my concern is,
Let me just give an overview and then
Okay.
we can talk about concerns. On this side, where is that? Right,
you figure something
Okay.
on it. Yeah.
Over here, we are going to have a bike lane, first parallel, parking, bike lane, and then we have a hashed line to segregate the bike lane from the, automobile lane, and then we have the the yellow painted line for the traffic island, and then another lane, and then bike lane, and these spaces will be parallel parking spaces on this side.
Yes.
So we are going to lose, I think, 6 spots on this side.
Inside of here, you'll.
Yes,
Yeah, on the inside.
6 spots.
Inside, but
Yeah.
you gain them elsewhere.
You gain them on the other side of the street all the way
So they have to cross the street.
till Huntington Road. You have additional parallel parking spaces there. And, there will be a new curb treatment. I think it's done here. The curb will be a little wider, and you will have solar-powered pedestrian crossing signs with push buttons on either side. And you're also going to have this curb come out a little further. You just bow these out a little bit more, so you have more space for people to stand there, while waiting to cross, and then you'll have, pedestrian buttons there.
So this is a normal traffic light
Mm-hmm.
pedestrian phase, as opposed to those other ones, because this is the lighted intersection.
So I'm worried about this, I think this is the section where cars are literally backing up and there's the bike lane. Is there gonna be any barrier here that the car will hit first? Okay, so logically, especially if a child is small, as we all know, parking lots are the easiest place to get into accidents as you're backing up, but you're just gonna hit a car most likely. Here, you're gonna hit a person. So, how is this safe? And is there any?
Similar to what we're doing at Stratford Center.
Okay, so.
That's parallel, the diagonal parking with the.
So they're backing into the bike lane?
It's a back.
Well, to me, neither one is safe. I don't have the answers, and I thought long and hard about what can we do here? And maybe it's just, a 3-foot.
Yeah, like they
border.
did on Route 10 in New
You know,
Haven.
maybe, I don't even know what you call them. They're like little stems that come up.
Plastic spikes.
Yeah, and they're yellow or something, so the car sees it.
In New Haven, they put it,
Yeah.
and the cars kept smashing
Smashing
them, and then they removed it.
Yeah.
They felt it was more safer not
Okay,
to
so
have
that
them.
makes me even more worried. If the cars are smashing into something that's not, they're supposed to be able to see,
How about concrete
right?
pumps? That'll work.
yeah. What's to say they're not gonna hit somebody on a bike, or somebody walking, or a wheelchair?
And like you
Walking,
said, a
you're
lot
not
of kids
walking
will
in-
use that area for
You're not
self-driving
walking
and
in
green.
for wheelchairs and the bike lane, so you're gonna be on the sidewalk.
Why
So
just
your pedestrians are
focus on the bikes then?
not in the middle of the road.
Okay, so,
It's the bike.
bike riding
So
then.
what is the expected pattern
How
though?
many committee members think that that's unsafe? I think that's unsafe.
Well, let me reframe it, okay? Both Stratford Center and here, we have worked on this for at least 10 years.
Right.
Exactly this situation
Yep.
and exactly that situation. And the problem is there's not a good solution anywhere. But
Well,
we
we set up this meeting to have the discussion about it.
Well,
Karen, I thought you had a terrific idea, and I don't know if it's a golden, silver bullet or whatever, but Karen, you suggested, hey, wait a minute, for that section, why don't we just deviate the whole bike path
yeah.
onto the Paradise Green side and
Right.
not have that continuously, just
Like,
cut it out.
have it move here, just for this section, and then it can come back here. Just for this, just where the cars are coming
So
out,
they would go in both directions
yes.
in that one section.
And I don't know if we
And
have
if they
room,
wanna stop at
to
the
do that.
businesses, they can walk across here.
yeah. Just for this section,
well, in order to be bidirectional, you have to have at least 10 feet.
and how big is this on this side?
So that just means that this middle section is moved over a little bit, and, because there's no
Yeah,
bike
the
path,
same
this
elements
bike
in a
path
different
would be
order.
there.
That would, I wouldn't advocate that, maybe there's other solutions. One thing that got talked about, is possibly this whole path, this whole sidewalk, which is gonna be constructed on the green, becomes a shared use path. So it's not just this little tiny section, it would be at least the length of the green.
To me, the
But
parallel.
no matter
parking-
what, you're trained to be on a bicycle heading in the direction of the flow of traffic. You're not trained to get on, stop, wait for some pedestrian crossing signal so you can walk your bike across the street.
I
Then
think,
get on a bike path or.
but I think most
Sure.
people will understand why they have to make that sacrifice.
Well,
The
yeah.
DOT is open to having bidirectional travel, but they're not open to having it on busy streets.
Okay, so let me ask
So
a
that's
question.
green is there.
Yeah.
So let me ask
Do
a question.
something.
Why can't we reroute, I don't know really where I am on Paradise Green here, but,
Route to Street.
so
What's the
reroute,
beginning of the green here?
so
So you're coming
reroute the bike,
Coming up from here.
yep,
You big
reroute the bike
hard
here and
turn.
go up this street and,
That's what I said, come down
That's another
yeah,
great idea.
you know? So you're avoiding that whole area.
and then they would come
Yeah, and you could double wide.
down
that
Fenelon
path
Place
that goes by
on the
the
other, from the other
Yeah,
side of the
exactly.
triangle.
There's a
Is
lot
that
of good
funeral
ideas.
home right here?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
At one point, years ago, we had that as a possible solution.
Mhm.
Years ago, 2016, 2017.
And it would avoid all of this congested area, even though these parking spots are inside of this, concrete, but it would just,
Well, you'd have to get to the end of the green.
Yes,
I think.
and
right,
then,
which is Fenelon Place right here.
And then where do you go from here?
So from Fenelon, they would come across and reconnect to these bike.
Paradise Place.
Fenelon and Wilkins.
So you're saying going up Huntington Road to Fenelon,
Yeah.
not to,
Right, so you're going on the other side of the green, and the first time you can take a right, you take that right, and then you come back.
First time or second time?
So they're actually coming like this instead of going straight. They're avoiding all the congestion in front of Paris Green.
over the hill going up Huntington Road to get the.
I think that's a better idea too. Actually, the business
How many
won't.
times has that been said?
Well,
And it finally clicks with
if
everybody.
in some earlier reiteration, I hate to bring up history, but we stopped all bike traffic at the bump out, the new bump out that they were building. And from there, the park and retail shopping became parking for all of that.
It's like you're stopping.
Right.
We made it a
Instead of
stopping
going through,
point in
you're
that way.
stopping.
You still need to find a way to get north, though. We need to get north on Main Street.
Is it possible to go on the other side of the park?
I don't think it's wide.
Is it possible?
What?
To put the bike lane just at,
And it would be bi-directional on there.
yeah, at that, so as you come to the tip of Paradise Green, instead of going this way towards the,
Instead of staying on Main Street,
Right.
go on Huntington.
go on Huntington.
Yeah.
And then when it's a good turn to come back in, you come back in and you avoid all of this. You avoid all of this.
So they would be coming in Fenelon and reconnecting to Main.
That's a great idea.
I don't know if there's room on the other side.
Or they can come in.
That is
You're no longer in the park.
Well, then,
As you
for
go
that
up to
Paradise
Fenelon,
Green here,
You're back
they
to
are then
Huntington
in,
Road.
all this
Yeah,
congestion.
less traffic.
I just have one point to make.
This is Paradise Green, which then starts, then it comes down
But
here,
here's the thing that we
and
have
it has
to
all
check
this
is, this is a DOT.
7-Eleven.
People park on Huntington Road and walk to the green, right?
I don't know.
So I just have.
They do.
Well,
They do
you
park
can't,
there.
you can't park on Huntington Road. The mayor put up the fencing, so you couldn't park there at all. So it's not, no one parks over there. The farmer's market uses the
They park on
charity
the side
parking lot,
streets.
but nobody even parks over there. Everybody parks on the retail side, and for the market itself, it has no.
But for bigger events, they park on the side street, Park Street.
Yeah.
They park on Fenelon, they park on Paradise Green.
And the mayor was very specific about it. When I picked up the farmer's market, people used to park on Paradise Green side of Huntington Road. It was chewing up the grass, and it looked cruddy. So, the mayor put in a fencing like the same stuff that's at Academy.
So it's already not used for parking, yeah.
So the
Not on
only,
that side.
the
So you
only
just say
drawback
on
to
Huntington
your
Road.
idea is,
Well, you have to cross the street.
Yeah.
If you're coming down this way,
You come up Huntington Road,
but yes,
and
and
then
then,
you'll stay on Huntington Road,
Yeah.
and then you'll come up to Fenelon, and you'll come down
Correct.
Fenelon. So you need a bike lane on Fenelon.
but if I'm coming
A
down,
bike lane on Huntington
if I'm
Road.
coming down Main Street, at some point I'm gonna have to cross the street to get,
That would happen here.
right, exactly,
Which is a, difficult intersection, but it is at a traffic light. So
Yeah.
you get in the bike box
yeah.
in front of this
Ms.
traffic. the green
So
arrow,
Smitha?
and you would go.
Harold,
Bike
can you
lane.
hear me?
more 1 minute, Eileen, but the only drawback is that we are saying this is for economic development, but the bikes can't even get to the businesses.
They can get to.
And they're like
They can park
going
right in the
around the
corner.
businesses, so we have to make some kind of. Yes.
that are pedestrian cyclists, not always driving their cars to
To the businesses. So we have to do something in that place where the bikes can come around and maybe park, even if they came around, yeah. Bike
Yeah,
racks
right.
or something in
Right.
front of.
That's
the
what I
bike
was
lane,
saying,
yeah.
the new
They could still
spin.
access everything and still bring it into the area, they're just not in the middle of.
Yeah.
But there would have to be anyway, right?
Because at
No
that
matter-
point, it's technically supposed
And
to
we have
come out
9
and get on the
minutes.
sidewalk, right?
What's up, Aileen?
I just wanted to let you know, since I don't think you guys are checking, Nels had a comment.
I just saw it, yeah.
So Nell says this idea would also help avoid the bike lane crossing over the long, dangerous merging in front of Huntington, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
So there would need to be bi-directional on Huntington and bi-directional on Fenelon.
Well, not
Let's
on,
just
on
say,
each
let's just
side.
say it simply, you're moving the bike lane off the Main Street intersection and putting it on Huntington.
Yeah.
So
And coming back.
there won't be a bike lane on Main Street.
Question, so that would mean you would take the bike lane out from where people are parking to get onto the green. There'd be no bike lane on either side, everybody's rerouted just around the green.
Right, except for you have to figure out what the bikes do. they just go on the sidewalk and go to the store.
You need a facility of some
Like a
kind.
little bike stand right there
Right,
at the face of
right
the
now,
street.
bikes go through
Like we
Paradise
have
Green.
place
They
here
do.
to do something like that.
It's,
Have a nice
it's
little bike
fine,
stand
if
right
they
there.
can get off
So,
and walk or do whatever they
Would
need to
that
do.
also help not having cars parked there? Because that's a danger too, because if people open their doors, get out, boom, a bike can hit it. It happened to my brother, broke his arm,
Not having cars parked there.
on Paradise Green.
Along the,
Yeah.
see, I think cars are doing that anyway, and one of the huge concerns for the many businesses there is not losing any parking.
No, I'm not saying move the I'm not saying change the parking. This would avoid a bike
Not
lane.
having it.
Right, so no, going either way, there's not a bike lane, you're going
In
around.
fact, if you eliminate
So
bike
it's a
lanes
win-win.
from Main Street, you do not have to modify the Paradise Green parking.
Yeah.
You
At
don't
all.
have to make it parallel, you can have it back out on
They'll
both
just
sides.
leave alone.
Yeah, we don't need to do anything.
Because there won't be a bike lane.
Businesses-
But I think
But
we need
should do
to
something for the
design
bikes,
a
right?
bike
For the park.
facility,
It's like
a parking lot
Yeah,
for
there
bikes.
is. So we would need some parking, on each
And then we
side
have to
of
put
the
up
street for
signs to
bicycles.
say you must walk your bike.
Yeah.
To me, that's cost, well, I don't know if it's cost effective,
That
but.
might even be cheaper.
The only other question I have to ask is,
Mhm.
we put this idea is not new. We put this forward a long time ago.
She's saying
It's the-
businesses would be in support of rerouting.
Yeah.
It's the DOT that is the ones that are designing this,
Right.
and our funding is coming through
No,
partly them.
I would say.
Will those be considered local roads? Will they still?
Yes.
They,
Huntington will be local, so it'll be taken out of the project.
right, that'll be taken out. We'll have to come up with the money in
No,
Stratford
no,
to
no,
pay
no,
for
no,
it.
no, we don't know that. Well, we don't know that.
Okay.
It's just not, that's not the project that was proposed to DOTs for the state funding. But if the state's okay with it, then they would
We
fund
can.
it. It doesn't have to be on a state road to have this funding.
Okay.
In fact, most of the
Good
time it's
news.
local.
Does
Okay.
Netherlands have a lot of, parking?
No.
Fenelon has no street parking.
It's very
Does
tight.
that have a
Fenelon
lot
is-
of cars?
You have to-
People already have an issue
Yeah.
going the correct way in and out of 7-Eleven parking lot. They
Yeah.
try to go in one way, and I'm like, no, that's an out.
We'd have to do,
Yeah, I
we'd
know,
have to do
yeah,
share
that's-
rows
that's
on
true.
Fenelon probably.
Yeah.
Mary, this is Fenelon, and there's no parking here, and.
Yeah, we'd have to do share.
have to do shares there, so you go all the way around, and then we should probably have some bicycle parking facility here or in this area
Yeah,
here.
some more
So they
pronounced.
come here, we
Yeah.
take out some spots, but then we add some spots here, or we make this parallel, but we have to create some
Can you,
bike parking.
can you
So
put the,
bicycles can park and then go to business.
can you put
So
the bike
Smitha, where do they
parking-
wanna put the new bump out? Or would that not
We
be
would need
needed?
to bump out.
No,
That's
the,
right
That
here.
bump out at
The
Fenelon,
bump
we
out
would still
here
need.
is at Paradise Green.
Yeah, we wouldn't need that.
And
I guess we would.
no, the bump out is, what they're trying to do is to prevent traffic
Right.
coming north.
So we
It's
still
right
have
here.
to do this for pedestrians, but all the other biking rearrangements. We could still add this in for more parking there. The
Parking would
re-
stay, yeah.
But
Because
otherwise,
especially if they're taking away this parallel parking,
Right.
which is my issue, as long as they're parking
We
here.
wouldn't be taking away the.
You're taking away 6 spots here. Right now, you're taking away,
Yeah, but if we don't need a bike lane here, then we don't need to take.
Oh,
the
correct.
parking space.
Can I
It
just
wouldn't-
ask
it wouldn't get
everybody,
caught.
I'm
yeah, this can
thinking,
stay
instead of up
diagonal.
here,
what I would prefer.
instead of coming
People
down
can parallel
here,
park. We can-
why can't the bikes go there?
Yeah, we jumped to Fenelon, we should be talking about Paradise.
Because
I-
now you need the bike lanes to go up Main Street.
I'm the one, wait a minute, I'm the one headed to Justin Fenelon so that they avoid all of the entire driving and congestion that's happening between Fenelon and Paradise Green.
Can we put bike racks here?
Yeah.
That's a huge sidewalk, you can,
Yeah.
it's very wide.
And
We're
it's,
gonna make more room.
it's
anyway.
around the
Well,
corner?
Yeah, you know, we'd have to check to see if you can, because
There's a bump
if
out
that,
there.
if that property line map is correct, that sidewalk is owned by CVS.
Right,
not by the-
Walgreens,
yeah.
yeah, right.
Right.
Other places to put a bike
So we have to, you know.
They own the sidewalk as
in
well?
Paradise Green.
Well, let me,
In this map they do, I don't know.
Okay.
answer me
Bike
this.
rack somewhere in Paradise
The
Green.
DOT is concerned with traffic calming, and they're also concerned with the fact that when you're going north on Main Street, there are 2 lanes, one which goes into the parking lot,
Right,
and the other which goes
right.
to the left of the divider. They see that as a really dangerous thing.
It is.
So they want to have some kind of a bump out there to
That's-
direct traffic over,
Yeah, that's
right
good.
here. I'm saying let's make the bump out be a parking lot, a bicycle parking lot, because that's still
You have to
within,
get there with your license.
which means they're either gonna have
Penalty, so that makes it more difficult.
that does make it more difficult.
Yeah, so if we leave the bike rack up where we're getting to, our point of destination.
That bump out's for pedestrian safety. It doesn't need bikes to.
What I'm still trying to do is,
Yeah.
the purpose of this, we're marketing this as a way to get to the retail in that area.
And the key is the
I'm sorry to interrupt,
We have to
but
stop.
we have only 3 minutes and we have to stop. There's another meeting coming in here. But you can continue your last closing statement and then we should end the meeting.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the untenable thing about the current plan is, again, a bike lane outside of parallel parking on one side, outside of diagonal on the other. I think that just making it safe to commute through choke points and get in the vicinity of Paradise Green is enough. People can walk bikes or go on sidewalks from there. Some people do already. The key is the channels through the dangerous intersections. And in this case, we're creating a new dangerous bunch of intersections by doing it this way.
So now-
I really think we should reroute.
Now that we've
Yeah, I
had this
will-
conversation, who do we need to ask to see if we can put a bike lane on Huntington?
First, we'll talk to the consultants. We'll try to address the issue. John and I will regroup with MetroCog team and consultants
Are
and
they in
figure out
charge
options.
of Huntington or just Main Street?
They're in charge of the funding.
They're in charge of funding and the project itself, so we'll talk to them.
But I didn't know if the
figuring out-
project was just Main Street or if it could include the town street of Huntington.
Was proposed to DOT as just Main Street, so now we're changing that, and
That's
we
what I'm
have to
asking.
find
Okay.
out, MetroCog is coordinating all that.
Okay.
The huge other thing that we miss going up to Paradise is anything and everything we can do to make Garden Street safer. I hope that continues to be a part of the 60-90%. That's a huge priority for me.
I think you can adjourn the meeting.
I think,
I have one more thing, Howard.
Yes.
yes, but we only have a couple minutes.
I understand.
Agree with Chris, make whole area pedestrian friendly with maximizing, encouraging, improving access to the large parking area behind the Paradise Green business ever discussed as part of the plan. So hopefully you could hear what we were saying, Nils. That we have to figure out with the businesses there.
So,
Right,
Harold, the other thing, we talked about, doing a letter to address the 3 gaps that exist on the current Greenway on Elm Street. I wrote that letter up, I emailed it, to the email.
She had asked for a document because she can't access Google Drive. You'll see that in your email.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, so you need what?
We
A
can,
PDF of it.
yeah,
You
okay,
can't
PDF
click
or
on the link.
whatever, because we can't do Google, Office emails, or just Microsoft Outlook.
You can't click on the link.
So the Google Docs only shares with, those who have Google accounts.
Same thing with my
Okay,
university.
I'm not so sure about that, because there's a setting that says allow.
Either way, just-
But I'll get the PDF for you.
Okay.
So how are we gonna address that, Harold, is that?
Do you just take the notes and take it forward, or
So I think this is a special meeting for this purpose only, so we should not be discussing that here. We should take it back to the regular meeting.
Yeah,
And-
we'll put it on the agenda,
Okay.
we'll put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
I have to move this
Our March-
because there's another meeting coming up here.
Guys, everybody, I brought handouts.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Can you adjourn the meeting and then distribute the handout?
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you guys that are online.
Thank you, sorry, this was
Let's
chaotic,
thank
but.
Jim too for the nice, before you put together.